Hello, Shavua Tov, good Vach, everyone who is here, who are watching this Hashem on YouTube. Motzei Shabbos, Parshas Ba'aloischo. Obviously, it's a very momentous day in the sense of what is happening, with the war that broke out. So before we begin to learn, I just want to say to anybody and everybody who is listening or will be listening or will be watching. Kol beseder. Everything is all right. There's no need to worry. If you want to worry, it's optional. Hey, who am I to tell you? But there's no need. There's no need to worry. And B'ezrat Hashem, everybody will be reprieved. The tzaddikim, with Posh Yisrael, everybody together, B'ezrat Hashem. Everything is okay. Everything is okay. Everything will be okay. Just, behave sensibly, daven, and be mischazik, B'ezrat Hashem. And the koyach of all the tzaddikim, Parshas Ba'aloischo, means speaks to Reb Nosson, to Haran HaKohen, whose job was to elevate the candles. The candles is Nishmas Yisrael, supposed to elevate the candles to a position that they're opposite the Pnei HaMenorah, the face of the Menorah. Pnei HaMenorah is Moshe Rabbeinu. It's Tzadik Emes. Haran HaKohen is the one who is supposed to bring the people towards the tzaddik. Make sure that al mul pnei menorah, that the candle should light. Brings chazik esem with the koach of the tzaddik. Vayomer Mitzrayim anusa mipnei bnei Yisrael, and Egypt say I should run away from bnei Yisrael ki Hashem ilcham lahem b'Yisrael, because Hashem was fighting the Egyptians on behalf of Israel. Don't worry, everything is okay. B'ezrat Hashem. Okay, let's go on. Start this week with the story Ma'aseh Baal Shem HaKodesh. So as follows: not far from the city of Mezhibosh, on the way that leads to the forest, there is a fountain, clear watered fountain. And until this day, this fountain is called Rabinova Klinitsa, the fountain of the rabbi. This fountain is mentioned many times in past instances. Even today, people know about it. For anybody who comes to the place of this fountain, you see a little stream of water that is going all along this field, and it's not possible to identify where it comes from and where it ends. And many are, drink from the water of this fountain, this gula, for a Yeshua, Gashmis Ruchnis. The source of this mountain and of this fountain and the meaning of this special kedusha, a tribute to it, that's the story. One of the days, The Baal Shem Tov is invited his great Talmud, Rabbi Yaakov Yosef from Polnoy, that told us Yaakov Yosef, the famous Talmud, to join him in a trip outside town, but also other Talmidim. On the way back, the Baal Shem Tov and his people were stopped next to a forest outside of town to daven, to pray mincha. When Baal Shem Tov wanted to wash his hands, Shulchan Aruch says you should wash your hands before davening. They found out that they had no more water left. Talmidim went everywhere to look for a source of water, but they couldn't find anything. And Baal Shem Tov lifted up his eyes to the heavens. The sky is darkening. Very soon it will be over time for mincha. So Baal Shem Tov started walking on his own into the forest. Nobody, had the goal to move except Rabbi Yaakov Yosef. It was the role of Sharigrad. He quietly went after the Baal Shem Tov. And as, in the ensuing, dusk, Baal Shem Tov put his stick and leaned it against a tree and just dropped himself on the ground. He was freaked out. He has never seen anything like this. An unbelievable mesirus nefesh. The Baal Shem Tov started screaming from the bottom of his heart, I'm begging you, please give us water for until Sedai for Mincha. And if not, I don't want to continue living. If Chas v'Chalila should be over this, Kabul Chachamei Chazal said, should wash the hands. Rabbi Akiva said that, when the Romans gave him enough water either to drink or wash his hands, he washed his hands. So the Baal Shem Tov got up, took his stick, wiped his tears, and walked calmly back towards the people. And then they noticed mamash behind them, like 3 steps from the parking wagon, a little fountain was giving its water. The Baal Shem Tov laughed and he says, "Enayim v'lo yiru," they have eyes but they don't see. He says, we have a working fountain right next to us and we are looking at further away. Everybody looked. They took water, everybody washed his hands. Only Rabbi Yaakov Yosef of Polnoy knew the secret. He was a witness to everything that was just like a few minutes of such mesirus nefesh of Tov muti michayei, the Baal Shem Tov say, on chumra kalu midirabanan. He had never seen such a thing until his last day. He was totally amazed by this. And later on, he said, it's one of the big reasons that sealed his getting close to Baal Shem Tov, and was this holy fountain that is still flowing until this day. One of the important nekudas of points of the tzaddik emes. I mean, we know that quite a few stories about acceptances, kabbalas that the Baal Shem Tov was mekabel on himself. Sometimes this way, sometimes that way, going in different ways. One of the kabbalas of the Baal Shem Tov, in this one, the kabbalah was, to wash his hands Chazal says, Chumrah of Chazal. But another Kabbalah Baal Shem Tov had with a very different kind of outcome was when the Baal Shem Tov had a Kabbalah not to light up his pipe. The tzaddik in that generation did smoke pipe, and the tzaddikim used to make gewaldige yichudim and unifications, Kabbalistic rectifications with the smoke that they were smoking. Rabbeinu was also doing that. So the Baal Shem Tov had a Kabbalah that he accepted upon himself not to light the tobacco in his pipe with a candle that is made of tallow. Now, there's no Isser on it whatsoever. It's not even a chumrah. There's no, it's fine, 100% fine. Tallow, obviously, is something which is forbidden in eating, but it's allowed to be used in any kind of, to smear leather and whatever it is. Tallow candles are 100% fine. Well, Shem Tov had a chumrah that not to light his pipe with a tallow candle. And one time he found that he had actually lit his pipe with a tallow candle. And the Baal Shem Tov was devastated. By tzaddikim of that level, mistakes don't happen. Mistakes don't happen. The whole inyan that, we have, when somebody says, for instance, eats tallow, chas v'chalila, b'shoigig, so bring a korban, it's charf koras, and all kinds of we have shoigig, and shoigig means inadvertent trespassing, transgressing of a law. The question is, why would we have to bring an offering in the Beis HaMikdash, in the temple, for transgressing a commandment, the shoigig, inadvertently? They didn't mean to do that. Either you didn't know that it was tallow, or you didn't know that it was also shoigig. Inadvertently happened. The fact that you have to bring an offering for that means that you're responsible for it. How can you be held responsible for something that is inadvertent? So Ibn Nosson explains it. He says that there are certain things that, we keep, oh Hashem, we do what we need to do, and we keep it, and everything is okay. But then there are certain things that we, quote unquote, we let it slide. No big deal. When we let things slide, we sort of allow things to, it's like that's the life we'll lead. Okay, that's my standards. The certain things about Hashem I keep, certain things that, it's not the end of the world. Now, the thing is that we get used to this standard. And as we get used to this standard, Nishamayim, they want to wake us up. You don't even realize that you are allowing yourself things that should not be done. So what they do, Nishamayim, is they push you into doing something forbidden, outright forbidden, inadvertently. And when you notice that, when you get it, whoa, that's like a shock. Why did this happen to me? The answer is it happened to me because I was letting things slide that I shouldn't. And there was no other way of letting me know about it except by making actually do something that is outright forbidden inadvertently. The inadvertent transgression lets a person know about the things that he has been allowing himself all the time and gotten used to it. So at tzaddik, that every single movement, every single thought, every single deed, every single breath is connected to Kodesh Baruch Hu, he will never transgress inadvertently any mitzvah. There's no reason to wake him up. He is awake all the time. So Baal Shem Tov realized that he had done inadvertently something. It wasn't even an isser. He himself was makabel himself not to do it. That's all. When he did that, that shattered him. Baal Shem Tov became more broken, more depressed, and it was like spiraling down. Couldn't believe how could I do that? Because every single deed was conscious by Hashem, by Baal Shem Tov. And it got to the point that Baal Shem Tov, he said about himself that he realized that he will mamish pass away. He's in danger of actually dying from tsar, from grief. Hashem Tov said the minute that he reached that point, Baal Shem Tov realized this acceptance that he accepted upon himself is not from the side of holiness. If it brings about such despair that his neshama almost leaves his body, it does not come from a holy source. And from that moment on, it's not even forbidden. From that moment on, the Baal Shem HaKodesh has accepted on himself to light his pipe only with a candle made of tallow. The whole Kabbalah was wrong to begin with. It was a Kabbalah seemingly Shebekdusha that was camouflaged by the Yetzer Hara to entrap him. On the other hand, washing the hands is the Rabbanon. Rabbanon said this is what needs to be done. Okay, the Gedorim, whatever it is. We have to understand all the tzaddikim, all of them, represent emes. They represent the truth. Every tzaddik is a tzaddik because he is true. Because he espouses the truth, he pushes for the truth, and he radiates truth to all the people around him. But there is an akuda, there is a point, a center, amongst all the tzaddikim, which are all true, all represent the truth. There is a point among the tzaddikim which represents the emes lamita, the point of truth amongst the truth. That's the point of the tzaddik emes. It's not a temporary truth. It's a truth that, like a fountain, shines forever. Because all the other tzaddikim, Chazal said, Chachamim, be careful with your words. Maybe, the result will be that Talmidim will drink from the words that you say, and they will come to, become an opposite, become a lie. The truth of the quote unquote regular tzaddikim, the full tzaddikim, is right for its time. But the truth of the tzaddikim and the level of Moshe Rabbeinu, of Shem Bar Yochai, Bin Arizal, the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbeinu HaKadosh, is an emes that's like a fountain will never, ever end. It's an emes that shows no matter what through other generations what the truth is. I want to tell you about what is going on, this war with Iran that is going on, about this. There is a sefer by the Rebbe of Kumarna. It's called Nativ Mitzvosecha, the path of your mitzvahs. And he said as follows, that he swear, in the sefer, he says he swears that all the Posh Israel in his time, the Ashkenazim in his area, there was 170 years ago, talking about the Enlightenment, whatever it is, he says, all those, he says, they are all anusim gmurim. They absolutely have no choice, no bechira on it. How much more so nowadays? Since they are all anusim, the meaning is that Kodesh Baruch Hu is going to, B'ezrat Hashem, deliver each and every one of us, the Posh Yisrael, together with the tzaddikim, and we'll see B'ezrat Hashem Yeshua Shlema. B'ezrat Hashem, let's take a look in Sichos Haran for this week. And this is what Rabbeinu says here. 279. Once Rabbeinu told me in this language, and when things are very bad, then you annul yourself completely. So I asked him, says Rabbi Nosson, how does one annul yourself, vatal yourself? Rabbeinu says, you close your mouth and you close your eyes, and that's the beetle. The Eitzat Rabbeinu is saying over here is, when the Baal Dover, when he drives you crazy and you don't know what to do, and he confuses me with all kinds of thoughts, licentious thoughts, and you don't know what to do, and it's very difficult, almost impossible to win against them. So a person should annul himself as if it doesn't exist. But every person can, quote unquote, annul yourself sometimes completely. In other words, close your thoughts, close your eyes, and close your mind completely. Like you don't have any seichel, you don't have any thoughts, that be totally mevutel to Hashem Yisbarach. Completely non-existent. Only Hashem exists. This is a very, very, very important eitzah, because people come to different situations in life. We can see that, people do that when where people are in great pain, they close their eyes and they're like mevatel themselves completely, to Hashem Yisbarach. The same thing when the Yetzer Hara drives a person crazy, when I can't stop myself. When it says the eitzah then is close your mouth, close your eyes, close your mind completely to Kodesh Baruch Hu. Only Hashem exists. That is like pressing the restart button on a computer. You just restart the whole thing. Restart yourself. It's a very, very important eitzah for each and every one of us to remember. Hashem should help us, B'ezrat Hashem. Gashmis, Ruchnis, will be Zocher, B'ezrat Hashem, to a marvelous week of Yeshuas and Nechamas and Beseres Tevis, and Kol Tu B'ezrat Hashem will never ever cease, never ever cease.